Hi, welcome to my channel, Free Will, Other People's Free Will. This is a requested video. I was going to put this up again a bit down the track, but I thought, no, let's put it up now. It kind of makes sense with the content I'm putting up at the moment. Before we start, it's my opinion. Everything here is my opinion. If a coach tells you something, it's not right, it's not wrong, it's just what we think. We don't know. None of us know, so we're giving our best opinion given on the experience that we've had. But just because I say something doesn't make it true. Okay, free will, what do I think about it? I think that free will is not what we have been led to believe that it is. I think the description that we would give of free will is not actually what it is. I think it's just more complex than we can really understand. So the comments that I've had recently are all to do with Neville Goddard saying, you cannot get somebody to do something or say something that goes against their nature, basically, if it's not within them to do that. Now, I have to disagree with that, and there's not much that Neville says that I disagree with, but I do disagree with that because it doesn't make any sense to me. Because to me, this is all to do with quantum entanglement, quantum physics, quantum mechanics. It's energy. Everything is energy, and why would... If you look at it like that, you are basically saying, and if you are religious or Christian and you believe that this is God, then you might well believe that, because you might think, well, God would say that no, you can't do that, or you can't do this, you can't do that. Whereas I don't believe that. So I'm coming from a different viewpoint. I'm coming from a reference point of everything is energy, every bit of energy can be influenced, basically. I won't say manipulated, but I think influence is a better word. And that is, people are no different than anything else. And actually, it wouldn't make sense in my own reality, because people have behaved completely out of the realms of what they would normally do or say in order for me to get to a point that I want to be at. So then it wouldn't make sense, would it? Because that is completely out of character. And maybe most people are capable of most feelings or all feelings, who knows? So I don't agree with that. I just think that what you want to do is focus on your the outcome that you want. Do not focus on what somebody says or does in order to get you to that outcome, because then you start obsessing about that and you don't see it, and then you get frustrated that you don't see it, and it all becomes about people saying things, and it doesn't become, and you kind of lose sight of the outcome that you want because you're obsessing about what people say or don't say. And you don't need to do that, because people will say and do those things without you even having to imagine them saying them, because it's all based on your reality and what the outcome that you want in your reality. If you have a desire for something, you have real clarity on that desire, you don't have any opposing thoughts, then there's no reason that you won't experience that. And it will mean, in a lot of cases, that this person has to say this, that person has to say that, this person has to change their mind and feel completely at odds with what they felt like the day before. But that does happen. It's happened to me. It's happened to me with a relationship. I don't want to go on and on about that because I have spoken about this, but where somebody told me he wasn't interested and he left no room for negotiation, basically, because he could see the sort of person I was, and I used to think that I could talk anybody around to anything, and I was so into him that I would have tried for sure, and it wouldn't have worked. When somebody's made that decision, they've made that decision. But then I did strongly feel, I wish he felt the same way as me, and the next day he did. So complete U-turn, came and found me, told me he didn't understand why he said what he said when I asked him why he said it, then was telling me that he was in love with me 2 days after that. It didn't make any sense. It's completely out of the realms. Do I feel I mess with his free will? No, I don't. I just wanted to experience something in my reality, but I didn't expect to experience it. There was no resistance whatsoever, just a split thought feeling. I was gutted at the time, so I was very sad too, and then it happened. And then we were in a relationship for a while. And no, I didn't bend his free will. He enjoyed the relationship, and the only thing that ended it was the distance in the end. It just wasn't practical. But other than that, no, he was like really into me throughout the whole relationship. Do I think that I was making him behave in that way? No, I don't at all. I really don't. I can understand why there is the viewpoint, and I can understand why Neville said that, because again, he was trying to stop people from doing things that were not very nice, probably, and getting people to say things that would mean that something bad was happening. And he didn't want people to influence anybody in a negative way. But the fact is, if the universe doesn't see negative, positive, good or bad, which I don't believe it does, then it wouldn't make any difference. But again, I can see back in the day, in those days, why he might have said that and thought better of what he had said before. But again, I'm not a complete Neville expert, so if I'm wrong in what I believe, then what he said, then do let me know. But again, it's just, we don't agree with everything. Just because you don't resonate with one thing that somebody says, don't wipe that person out completely, because you just pick and choose from different people, and then you build your own belief system around what other people say, or just random stuff that comes to you that nobody else has ever thought about before. It's about you. It's not about me. It's not about Neville. It's all about you. Like I said, a lot of the stuff that I say you probably won't resonate with, and some you really will, but that doesn't mean that you never have to listen to me again because you don't like this that I say and you don't like that, because you can pick and choose. And then you go to another coach who says stuff, well, I like this but I don't like that. Well, add that to your things that you do like. And go with it like that. But be your own boss, basically. Be your own boss and just listen to what people say with interest, but don't take it as black and white. Don't take it as right or wrong. Okay, I think that's all I've got to say on the subject, really. Again, don't obsess about what somebody says or does. Only focus on the outcome that you want. And then again, don't obsess about the outcome. Get on and live your life, and then all of those things will happen, and people will say things that you couldn't have imagined them to say. Jeremy's backtracked on massive things and made decisions about things that he logically wouldn't have made, all because I've wanted a particular outcome, but I've never obsessed about what he would say. I know that he'd have to say these certain things, so I would never go there. It would always be what I wanted, the outcome that I wanted, and then whatever came with that, came with it. Okay, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, I'd love for you to do that.